All right, folks. Welcome to Prepper Now Crisis Report. It is May 25th, 2025. This is the post op. This is a follow up to the one earlier because, well, I promised I would be back and I got some stuff to tell you. We want to go in, follow up. I got most of the stuff from yesterday into this morning. This is going to take you through the rest of the day and yada, yada, yada. So, if you're into this kind of thing, cool. But yeah, this is the crisis report for May 25th, 2025, in the PM. Oh, thank you so much, Dark Knight Cowboy, sweet cheeks. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Prepared Irishman, I like that name. Yeah, so we're gonna do the thing. This isn't a real long one. I've got a good amount of stuff, but nothing crazy. How do you become number one again? I don't know. They do these things where they have. I guess they're trying to get people to come to the live stream. So clearly, by what you do, they want people on the live streams. It's YouTube. YouTube goes all over the place. You never know what you're going to get. And they switch every week. I mean, they've got. I mean, I did a live stream on Prepper Now last night, talking about. Well, let's just say that there are some instructions put out on by a major news corporation, and it shows you how to do something that could be really harmful to other people. Well, one of the community guidelines here on this fabulous platform is that you can't do that. But you know where the video came from? It was on this platform. So where are we going with this? Are we going to enforce this, or is this just for like people like me? Because I would never put that out there. First and foremost, I don't want to promote violence, but I just so you never know what you're going to get. It is what it is. They just until you want to know you want to know what really needs to happen. Someone needs to come in. They need to separate this platform from the big alphabet thing and turn it into a just right down the middle, just like a public utility. Seriously. At this point, all these different things from the alphabet people, they're public utilities. They should be treated as such. They shouldn't be pro one way or pro the other. Um, they should just be like, hey, here's your content, and it is what it is. But we know that that will never happen. So hopefully you checked out the earlier video. Let's get started. I'm not going to be here a long time, but I'm going to go on to Prepper Now afterwards, okay? Because there's, it's like Saturday night, right? You're feeling all right, and yeah, I'm feeling all right too. So let's do it. Good to see everybody here. Cool. Looks like we're in for some doom. Thank you, Sergeant Rocker. Yes, we are. Let's go and let's get you to the crisis report. There it is, right there. It's France power outage, and we're gonna tell you all about it. Appreciate you being here. Lock in and get ready for some intel of the open source style. Okay. France power outage 52525. Oh, what is this? Well, yes, we are going to be getting a lot more deeper into this over the summer. I don't have time right now. I don't. So I'll be doing like one or two a week. Keep it, in your by almost 700 people are on that channel now. It's just it's just a backup to the backup. It's Prepper 101 redundancy in case they come in and decide to go crazy. So you never know. Russia fired 10 Iskander short-range ballistic missiles and thousands of drones last night. Ukrainian capital Kiev. We're going to cover what happened there. Iranian Revolutionary Guard says we are ready to respond decisively and beyond imagination to any hostile action by the enemy. Our hand is on the trigger. Our forces are at peak readiness, and we are strengthening our capabilities to confront the enemy on a daily basis. Past hour, Israeli civilians have received chilling phone calls from unknown numbers. On the other end were hostages screaming for help with sounds of heavy bombardment in the background. Authorities are now blocking these calls, which are apparently a psychological terror tactic aimed at spreading fear and panic amongst the Israeli public. Ukraine says 13 people were killed in Russia's largest strike since the outbreak of the war against Ukraine. That number is going to go up. Iranian Foreign Ministry says the place and date of the next round of negotiations on the nuclear issue have not yet been determined. Next phase of Gideon's Chariots is now underway. All active duty infantry and armored brigades are storming into Khan Yunis and the northern Gaza Strip. This phase is aimed at the complete destruction of anything above and below ground used by Hamas. Pray for wisdom for our commanders and divine protection for the Israeli soldiers. That, of course, is Mr. Amir Sarfati. Unusual warning from Israel's National Security Council recommends Israelis residing in Canada to take increased precautions due to growing threats from other outside elements. Following the attack in which two Israeli embassy employees were murdered in Washington, President Trump has ordered Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who's been over in Israel, to make a visit to Israel today. Noem will arrive at the Western Wall this evening. She met Netanyahu. She went to the Western Wall, did all the pleasantries that our esteemed people do when they go over to Israel. Residents of Khan Yunis are asked to evacuate. IDF is planning to maneuver and take over the entire city within hours and then cut off all escape routes for the Hamas people that are under the ground. Kemi Badenoch, leader of the Conservatives in Britain, backs Netanyahu in an attack against the leaders of the countries that came out against Israel. Quote, if Hamas praises the words of Macron and Starmer, something is wrong. Israel is fighting a terrorist organization that wants to destroy its country. Israel, like Ukraine, is fighting a proxy war on behalf of the West. Republican Senator Ron Johnson reportedly has the votes needed to block President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. A dual U.S. German citizen has been arrested and charged with attempting to firebomb the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv, Israel, and with making threats against President Donald Trump. Kamala Harris has announced that she is currently unemployed, like most Democrats. Texas lawmakers have passed a bill requiring the Ten Commandments to be displayed in public school classrooms, and it's now heads to the governor's desk. That would make some people freak out. All right, Rip Curl, good to see you, brother. Dual citizen of Germany who plotted to kill President Trump made over 100 donations to Act Blue, political fundraising platform for Democratic candidates. Senior British, French, and German officials have warned the Trump administration that Iran is deliberately stalling negotiations over a new nuclear agreement to hinder the ability to impose sanctions if no agreement is reached. Mass Ukrainian drone strike against Russia over the past minutes, entirely on Ryazan. This is not the one that was recorded earlier today. This is another one. So there's a real tit for tat going on with all of that. So we shall see. Scenes from Russia's Tula and Tatarstan regions as Russian air defense attempts to intercept large-scale Ukrainian drone attacks. Carpet plan introduced at multiple airports in western Russia, grounding planes and delaying flights. German Electric Mobility Association, or BEM, has filed for bankruptcy, according to Die Welt, a green company. Trump says, I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people. I don't know what the HE double hockey sticks happened to Putin. He's fighting a war, so, that's what they do when they go to war. So I guess we'll just have to see. Ukraine may need to ration air defense missiles if the ceasefire talks fail. Russia has stepped up air attacks using both North Korean ballistic missiles and Shaheeds. Main challenge an overwhelming number of aerial targets. In early 2024, Russia made 300 Shaheeds per month. Now it produces that many in under 3 days. Could soon reach 500 per day, enabling mass strikes with up to 1,000 drones at once, according to The Economist. IDF says it will take control of 75% of the Gaza Strip within the next 2 months. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says she had a good call with Trump. The EU and US share the world's most consequential and close trade relationship. Europe is ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively to reach a good deal. We would need the time until July 9th. I guess we shall see. Russian forces conducted one of the largest combined drone and missile strikes of the war against Ukraine on the night of the 23rd and 24th. This is a post-op on what we know now. Used fewer missiles than the previous large-scale combined strikes. Key takeaways are that Ukraine and Russia conducted a second round of prisoner of war (POW) exchanges on May 24th as part of a larger 1,000 for 1,000 exchange agreed upon during recent bilateral negotiations in Istanbul. It's good. Russian officials will reportedly submit a draft document of their conditions for peace in Ukraine following the conclusion of the POW exchanges, although Russia's conditions are unlikely to be anything short of Ukraine's full surrender. Russian forces have significantly expanded their salient southwest of Kostyantynivka in recent weeks and established sufficient positions to launch an offensive operation towards Kostyantynivka from the south, or to go support and envelopment of Pokrovsk and Mirnokhrad from the northeast in the coming weeks and months. Russian salient southwest of Kostyantynivka is likely sufficient to support a future Russian offensive option or operation towards Kostyantynivka, it's getting easier, or Pokrovsk, but Russian forces will have to make further advances from Chasiv Yar and Toretsk and west of Pokrovsk before Russian forces will pose a significant threat to either of these towns. Russian forces recently advanced near Liman, Toretsk, and Novopavlivka. President Trump and his allies are planning primary challenges against Representative Thomas Massie after he was one of the just two Republicans to oppose the current recent spending bill, the big beautiful bill, baby. I don't think he will be put out. I really don't. So, Wall Street Journal. Since February 2025, only about 500 people have signed the 18 to 24 contract with the Ukrainian armed forces. Despite various bonuses, the program has faced bureaucratic obstacles, resistance from parents, and a general reluctance amongst young people to serve in the Ukrainian armed forces. Over the last few hours, roughly a dozen military transport aircraft from the Russian Air Force have departed Moscow, heading east towards the Ural Mountains, including several AN-148s, Tu-154s, Tu-134s, Tu-214s, IL-62Ms, and IL-76MDs. Almost all of these aircraft are used for the transport of senior government and military officials, though their reason for departing Moscow all at once is not known. This is likely part of some kind of an exercise, a test and evacuation of Russian officials to a safe location in case of a large-scale attack on Moscow. Isn't that heartwarming? Donald Trump once again attacked Putin, saying he killed a lot of people. This comes after the U.S. and Russia apparently failed to reach an agreement. By the way, not a word of said about Netanyahu, and is currently blocking all food and starving Gaza. The blocking food thing is not true. They're actually giving him trucks. starvation and all that. I see some videos where there are people saying that they're great and they're chilling on the beach and everything's wonderful and they're eating. Others say it's all been, blown to H double hockey sticks and no one's got any food. So you believe what you want to believe. Douglas McGregor's bombshell advice to Trump on Ukraine, quote, a buffer zone east of the Dnieper River would give Russia sufficient security against any future threats that may emanate from the remains of Ukraine, but um, the rump state would likely to be subjected to territorial claims from Western neighbors, the ex-Trump Pentagon advisor says. Everyone from Poland and Romania to Hungary and Moldova would like a piece of Western Ukraine, according to McGregor. President Trump suspended all aid to the Ukrainian disaster. Get out, offered to host a conference. Let them all come. Without us, by the way, we can have a representative that sits in and listens, but let the people in it and around Ukraine make the decision on where the new boundaries will be drawn. McGregor told Daniel Davis on Davis's Deep Dive podcast. So, Denmark, dairy farmers in Denmark will now have to pay an annual tax of 672 krona, or about 75 sterling or euros, depending, per cow, due to the planet heating emissions they generate. They are heat makers. It is the world's first carbon emissions tax on agriculture. We look forward to them doing that even more and destroying more of their agriculture. UK threatens citizens with criminal charges for watching TV without a license. Yep. UK resident returned home from visiting the US to find an official investigation open against him just for watching TV without a license. Authorities warn it is a criminal offense to watch or record live TV without a paid license on any device, he joked. I better lock the doors. This is what tyranny looks like in 2025, he said. Uganda has suspended military ties with Germany, effective immediately. Army says German ambassador engaged in subversive activities. Okay. Number of victims and wounded in Russia's attack on Ukraine on May 25th has risen to 79. 12 died, Kiev says. Russia launched 69 missiles, 298 drones overnight. Ukrainian Air Force said 45 cruise missiles shot down by air defenses and 266 drones were neutralized. Europe must step out of its comfort zone and take measurements or measures that truly go beyond the status quo. Tuesday, the EU approved the 17th package of anti-Russian sanctions, and the new head of the Federal Chancellery of Germany, Thorsten Frey, is already thinking about the 18th. It has long been clear Russia only understands clear formulations, therefore the restrictions must be tightened and measures taken that really harm Russia, according to Reuters. Additionally, Frey is terribly offended that Moscow offers negotiations and not a ceasefire. Putin is dragging out the time. Military aid for Ukraine could therefore be increased from 7 billion euros to to an unspecified amount. Psst. Otherwise, the Russians will hear. Two anonymous anarchist groups have claimed responsibility for the power outage in southern France. Yes, our good friends of anarchy are back again to create anarchy. They said they had staged a sabotage and wanted to cut off the power to the Cannes Film Festival, as well as everything that destroys France, including industrial enterprises. The anarchists noted that France sows death, being the largest supplier of weapons worldwide from the Middle East to Ukraine. According to BFM TV, the prosecutor's office is conducting an investigation after this statement appeared. So, big power outage, I think, yesterday in southern France, and these anarchist groups were claiming that they're the ones. They did it. They're the baddies. So, what do we got? Oh. Is Orange Man bad? Fueling some convo in the chat. So, yep. Well, so Daryl's had enough of the pro-Trump stuff. I mean, some things I like what he does, some things I don't like what he does. Big beautiful Bill sucks. Hope he gets shot down by Ron Johnson, as I reported earlier. So, rest of it, I like. There's a lot of stuff he does I do like. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I don't know. I don't do the whole cult thing. So if it's good, I'll tell you I like it. If it's bad, I'll tell you I don't like it. So I do retain the ability to make fun of people. So like the Kamala Harris being unemployed. I think I said something in the fact that typical for a Democrat. So whatever. I know. Two sides of the coin. Blah blah blah. Well, one side of the coin I think sucks more than the other side. So full disclosure. So all right, friends. God bless. PN Trump is evil. Maybe he is. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I'm going day by day. If he's evil, he'll show it, and if he is, I'll be right there with you. So maybe he's not. Is he the AC? I don't know. Is he the AC? I don't know. Is he not the AC? I don't know. Is he the AC? I don't know. I don't know. The year 1000, everybody thought the world was going to end. So there's people jumping from like cliffs. It's been 1025 years since, and we're okay. I mean, you never know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So, and you're welcome to verse these ideas and thoughts. Daryl, you're always welcome here. If you think he's the AC or just a bad dude and he sucks, you're more than welcome to say that. Cool. All right. So yeah, he's not the AC. You just think he's bad. Okay, we're good. Next video. You're correct, sir. All right, Matthew Trucking is pushing me on. We're going to go on over to Prepper now, and we're going to do a live stream over there. Looks like we got a good classroom going on right now, and we will see you over there. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.